Hi! Welcome to my SMP server known as Cryptid Craft. That name took us way too long to figure out. Me and my friends were trying to think of some names, and it took us a little bit. Like, the actual decision to choose the Cryptid Craft as the name didn't take that long, but it was coming up with an idea and just actually having a name in general. Before that, we had the genius name known as MCSMP. It's such a great name. But anyways, let's go ahead and equip our netherite once again with my beautiful elytra. I look kind of cool, honestly, with the full netherite, and the elytra looks really nice on me, actually. I pull off this look very well. And then on top of that, we do have a totem of Unico, and we're going to go ahead and throw that into my offhand. Look how cute it is, by the way. I did the pixel art for this. It took me a little while to actually perfect it, but when I had an idea for it, it kind of actually just ended up working, and now it's just super adorable. I love it so much. I can't believe I was able to pull it off. Now, before we get any more into this entire world of Cryptid Craft and why I already have netherite and all that, this server has been roughly going on for maybe a little bit more than an actual real-life month, maybe a little bit less, somewhere around a month, basically, this server has existed. And because of that, of course, I had a lot of time to just go and grind and get certain things done. So I will be giving you guys like a general tour, an overview of everything that exists on the server currently and all the events that are going on, what's happened. There hasn't been really much that's happened anyways. It's not like it's super crazy because all the crazy stuff that's going to be happening from this point forward is going to be crazier than everything else that's already existed on the server. So everything that you're already seeing, we're going to have things that are even crazier than this. It's getting crazy out here. And of course, this is vanilla survival, but with a little tiny little bit of some quality of life things here and there, or just things for roleplay purposes. So to show off those real quick, we're going to go to my advancements, and then I will show you guys my vanilla tweaks pack of advancements right here, because this shows you all of the vanilla tweak mods that we are using. We're using name colors just so that way we can have different names in the leaderboard. So, for example, I have like this cyan color to my name. If I go into my free cam mod, we can see it here as well. So it's just, to have a little bit of extra customization for yourself there. We have more mob heads. It's a way to collect heads of mobs other than the normal vanilla Minecraft way. Double shulker cells, which is pretty self-explanatory. Anti-Enderman grief. Custom nether portals. Unlock all recipes. That's mainly for me because I'm kind of dumb and I need to look up the recipes every once in a while. We have silence mobs. That one's roughly self-explanatory as well. Fast leaf decay. Look, I didn't want to wait for the leaves to decay, and I'm pretty sure my friends didn't want to wait for it either, so fast leaf decay. And then we have wandering trades. I'll get to that in a second. And then we have player head drops. So these two are very interesting as well because whenever you kill a player, it also drops the player's head. And then for wandering trades, whenever the wandering trader comes by, there is a chance that the wandering trader will be trading you a very specific block to give you mini blocks. And just as a quick little example, let's go into my collection of blocks here. I will show off the hay bale one. It is tiny, it is cute, it is the equivalent of literally just being a mini block. It's a player head, but it has a hay bale skin to it, and I think it's so cute. I love these. It's a really nice collectible item. It is kind of a pain to actually get rid of, though. But other than getting rid of them and like breaking them, basically mining them away, it's really nice. But yeah, this is my collection chest. This is where I have all my collectibles in here. We're talking pottery shards, armor trims, discs, jukeboxes, player heads, mob heads, all that sort of thing. I actually have one of my friends' heads right there. That's Wolfie and his head there. I'll go ahead and talk about my friends that are on the server with me as well here in a moment. There's a lot to cover in just this one episode alone, or this one video alone. I'm not sure if there's going to be an episode thing happening here. But essentially, I want to collect everything in the game, including the advancements on top of these collectibles. But you have the normal vanilla collectibles, and on top of that, you have mob heads, you have mini blocks to collect, and yeah, I think those are really the only extra additions other than player head drops, but getting player heads would require me to actually go and kill my friends, and I don't really feel like doing that all the time. And as for the very last data pack that we have on the server, we have this custom roleplay data pack. And essentially how this works is the server requires us all to have a resource pack. So if I go to my resource packs here, you'll see world-specific resources. This is made from the server. It says it's a test resource pack. That's because I just made it that way back when I was messing around with it. But anyway, because of the resource pack and the data pack that we're using together, we're able to use a level to name, to change the texture of, format the name of, these items right here. So this is basically, it's still a Totem of Undying. It's just that it looks slightly different. Now, all the other Totems of Undying, they're all going to be the same look of the Totem of Undying, but the ones that I get, I can change using an ID to make them specific to look a specific way in the texture pack, which is how I made this, and I really, really love it. There is one other thing that also works with it as well. You probably might have seen this with YouTubers on other SMPs, where they're able to use the carved pumpkins to create hats. Now, keep in mind that this one's very ugly, but this was my very first one ever made, and it was just for testing purposes. I kind of made like a, imagine the redstone torch, but instead it's bluestone. That's kind of how it looks. So if I slap this carved pumpkin on, now we can see that I have like a bluestone torch sticking out the side of my head. It's kind of, it's a little cute, but other than that, it's not really all that appealing. So there's ways to have different hats and things like that. It's just really good for the just having another way to roleplay with one another on the server. Now, I don't know how frequent my friends are actually going to be on the server. However, for myself, I know that I'm going to be on this quite a bit. And even if in the future my friends decide that they're kind of tired or bored of Minecraft, I'll more than likely still be playing for some reason. Anyway, that covers the general basics and idea behind the server. We're here just to try and play the game together on Minecraft and have some fun. And we just respect each other's space and what they want to do, and we just have fun with our own thing. But anyway, this is my starting area, basically. This is where I've done most of my work and where I've been working on things a lot. The other place is over there, but we'll get to that here in a moment. Right here, we have El Mango's design for both a moss farm and a bone farm. I'll go ahead and turn it on for a second, so that way you guys can see. But as you guys can see here, though, it does produce quite a lot of bone meal, especially if you just let it run. So let me go ahead and climb up to where this lever is. We'll flick that on. We'll go up here, and I'll go into free cam, so that way we don't have to listen to the entire sounds of all the machine noises going on down there. But essentially how it works is that the lava that you see on both sides is part of a stone generator. And the way that moss breaks is, of course, through the use of pistons. You can break moss easily through these pistons. And then the water that you see coming out every once in a while is also used in the stone generator. Now, using the stone generator system, we're able to generate that extra stone that gets pushed by pistons. And of course, using that water from that stone generator, we're able to flush the majority, not all, but the majority of what we get from the pistons straight down into those hoppers down below, which is where those arrows are. And then that gets put into composters down below, where we can see a little bit of it going on right here. And then when it composts, it's about to get real loud, so get ready for that. But when it gets composted, all this bone meal shoots up from here, goes around this entire item transporter. I don't know what to call this, but an item conveyor. And it goes over all the hoppers that are actually going into a dispenser, which dispenses the bone meal on a moss block below the actual stone generated area. So yeah, that is essentially how this works. It's just a really big way of generating a ton of bone meal, and of course the moss and moss items. So it's really nice. I like it. It's still my prized possession on this entire server, even though I'm not the one who originally came up with it or anything like that. I just love it so much, and it was one of my first things I ever decided to work on in terms of redstone when it came to Minecraft in general. So because of how difficult and how awesome it was to work on and make and create, it means a lot to me, and it's one of my prized possessions, 100%. It's really good. I like it a lot. And so, yeah, now we just get to let it produce its own bone meal, and of course, it would shoot out right into this hopper, into this chest. Think of this as like the excess bone meal that doesn't get picked up by the system to redispense the entire bone meal onto another moss block. That's the moss block up there, and we can see the dispenser here. So if this is not full, it would choose to go into the dispenser before it would choose to go into the excess, which is what we take to use on my other machines. We'll start with the more basic thing, and this is just like my automatic compost thing whenever I have too much excess with other stuff in terms of this tree farm right here and other things. This is just like a general use composter. I could just throw stuff into the system for El Mango's design, but I decided not to do that because it just seems more efficient for me to just be able to just toss things into this double chest here and let it go, rather than climb up the scaffolding, throw something into the hopper, and let it do its job that way. Yeah, it's just a lot easier, less room for mistakes and all that by having my own manual one right here. That's basically why that exists. Now, here we have my super duper smelter. I think I got this design originally from Mystic Cats. I could be wrong about that, but Originally, it was like 9 furnaces on one side. And then all I did was I took the original design, I expanded it to be 18 different furnaces instead by just making the minecart hoppers go in a full 180 back over here, bounce back, and go way back over here. And essentially how this system works is you throw things into the input, which is right up here, and then it'll smelt those items, and it'll come right outside into this output. And of course, if we needed to refuel the system, we just throw the fuel into this fuel double chest right here, and the minecart hoppers will do their job of just going back and forth over the furnaces and the hoppers that are pointed into those furnaces. Pretty simple super smelter, but that is how that works. Now here we have one of my other prized possessions because it was a really cool farm to have, and it's really nice to have in general, and that is this beautiful tree farm designed by ENX04. ENX04 designed this tree farm to be useful with a variety of different saplings and trees. I believe the only 2 trees that it doesn't work with is mangrove and dark oak, because it only really does 1 sapling at a time. And mangrove has this thing where the roots shoot off and go into the water, which makes it waterlogged and creates a new water source inside the water collection pool. So it doesn't work for that either, unfortunately. And how it works is up there. Let me go over here real fast. We're going to try to go away from the chickens because my mind is going to break if I were too close. But over here, we can see that we have the TNT duper up here. It's not the usual dead coral TNT duplicator. Instead, I don't even know how to really describe how this TNT duplicator works because I genuinely have no idea. And the only thing that's in here is just a water source block. So that way, whenever this TNT explodes in there, if it does explode in there, it doesn't damage anything else. But yeah, I don't know how to explain this TNT duper. It's just a TNT duper. And then this system is the nudging machine, so it nudges every once in a while the TNT that flies out of the TNT duper. And so what happens is it flies from up here, down over here, explodes the tree that we're growing. We have a sapling in our offhand, a bone meal in our main hand, and then we're sitting there holding right click on the block in front of us. We get to grow the tree, it explodes, falls into the collection system, and gets collected here. In fact, I can show you guys what's in our collection system. I probably won't run this machine right now, though, because there's a lot to cover in this video alone, so we're not going to run it right now. But I can show you guys just some of the stuff that we've collected over time. This is a very small fraction of the overall things that I've actually managed to collect by running this machine. It's an amazing design by ENX04. Would highly recommend checking out some of his tutorials. Absolute mastermind and genius behind certain farms. It's awesome. Over here we have a very, very basic chicken egg farm, and it's because we want eggs sometimes to be able to create those pumpkin pies I've been creating. This is definitely humane. There's no problem in this. I see no problem here. Here we have another design by ENX04. You guys are going to find out soon enough that I actually really enjoy ENX04's designs for farms. This is ENX04's bee farm design, and I'm using it to get myself some honeycomb. I'm liking my candles and my sugar and whatnot from this farm because we also generate a lot of honey bottles. The reason why we're generating so many honey bottles, though, is because I used to have shears in here, but it appears that they've run out, that they've completely broken. So yeah, we're gonna have to clean this up sometime. Not right now, though. That requires effort. Down here under this glass, there's actually an abandoned mine shaft I randomly found while trying to create this chunk loader. And I believe I got this chunk loader from KG Tutorials or KG Plays, something like that. Love this design, by the way. It just sends a minecart furnace over to the nether and back over and over again, essentially loading the chunk in the nether and in the overworld over and over again, which I really, really like. Now, let's talk about this pumpkin farm a little bit right here. This is my beautiful pumpkin farm. It generates an absurd amount of pumpkins and has a hopper minecart beneath it, which deposits all of those pumpkins straight into my storage system over here. And we can see we have a good amount of pumpkins. There used to be more. And then I turned them all into pumpkin pies and did other things with them. Oh, and if anyone's curious about this canopy area thing that we have with pumpkins here, my girlfriend saw that I had a lot of pumpkins and decided that she was going to make me a beautiful canopy over my entire little area here. So that is why I have a canopy. Oh, and back to the tree farm for a second. I had to expand the storage. Before, it was 3 double chests, and then I made it to 4, and then I expanded that 3. So it's like, what is it? It's 4 times 3, so that's 12 double chests now. I got these farm ideas, or the actual layout of it all, from Exuma, which is one of the people I definitely look up to from the Hermitcraft server. A really fantastic guy. And I can't believe how good and efficient these Nylium farms are. This one is the warped one. Up above me is the crimson one. It's literally the same design. The only difference being that I added this this double chest and the hopper, and then this double chest and these hoppers as well. But that's because these are supposed to be bone meal to fill in the machine, and these are the collection things. If I just need to throw stuff out of my inventory, I throw them in here because of how absurd the amount is that we get from this alone. I could run the machine for a second, and only like a second, and you'll just see how many items it can generate. Let's go. That was more like 3 seconds, and look how many items it already generated. If we go in here, I guarantee I'm at least going to have 2 stacks of something. Well, I mean, technically had 2 stacks. Not really, but kind of. And I was using this primarily so that way I could get the fungus, so that way I can grow all the nether trees I need. It is excellent. It's beautiful. I'll go more into detail about all this redstone and whatnot, but I feel like I don't have much time to fit everything into this video, so we're going to have to ignore it for now. Just know that pistons on either side, and it's an observer clock, which is cool. I like that idea a lot. Over back onto my canopy right here, we can get a better idea of what this entire tower is supposed to be. This tower is my copper aging tower, is what I like to call it. This is where I age and place all of my copper blocks here, specifically so that way I can collect them at a later time after they fully age. And I use the fully aged copper so that way I can do builds with it, sell it maybe, who knows. I just kind of like to have aged copper on me just in case I might need some in the future. And last but not least, at least in this particular area, hold on, let me just go ahead and take out this guy real fast. Don't come back through the portal. What do you think you're doing? Come back here. No. You decided to come through it? You're going to stay on the overworld side now. Over here, this was built by my girlfriend Anouk as well, and I gotta say, she did a fantastic job. She wanted this aquarium area for my axolotls to be in the shape of a barrel. And I say that she did a pretty good job for this barrel, and I think it looks really good. The axolotls are cute. I don't have any super rare axolotls, but I do have the yellow, pink, and the brown one, which I believe is the wild variant. So I have those ones. I just don't have any of the other ones outside of that. And originally, it was funny because she forgot to cover all the holes up. So I started becoming a escape artist, and we're escaping and running around and stuff. Oh, man, it became a mess. And she has a little crane thing out here, so that way, whenever she builds the factory, it ties into this pretty well. And, of course, she has some extra attention to detail by adding on these trapdoors here, which is the same thing on the pole all the way up, which I thought was fascinating. I love the attention to detail on things. It makes me really, really happy. Now, I'm only going to really cover the stuff that I've done on the SMP because I'm assuming that my friends and my girlfriend, they would love to just show off their own stuff to you guys in my videos in the future. So we're only going to show off my stuff for now. Speaking of my stuff, we're going to go ahead and head on over here to this pumpkin area over here. It's not just made out of like pumpkins for pumpkins or something like that, okay? There's flying machines, and these slime blocks don't stick to pumpkins, so I was using pumpkins here. Now you could argue I could have just used the leaves, but I guess I didn't want the easy way. But we have a sugarcane and a bamboo farm right here, and it just runs on its own using an etho hopper clock. And we have a chunk loader loading it at all times as well, so that way we can always reap the rewards whenever we can. Let me go ahead and throw that bamboo back in there. Let's quickly check down here as well how we're doing. We have quite a bit of bamboo actually just in storage right now, but yeah, I use it whenever I can. I mainly use the bamboo. I don't use sugarcane as often, but whenever I'm making rockets, I definitely love my sugarcane farm. Over here, funnily enough, this was my original sugarcane farm. I haven't taken it down yet, but yeah, you know, it's the very typical observer look for third tier of sugarcane and then piston it all. And this is like roughly how much it's grown since its existence, which was roughly a month ago. So, yeah, not super efficient, especially because it's supposed to collect it through water and not a hopper minecart, which would have been way better. But yeah, it is what it is. Over here, we have a stone generator. And by the way, I just want to let you guys know as well that this design, I don't know where it originated, but since I don't know how to tell you. Up there, this was Waddles. Again, the chunk loader design was from KG Tutorials. Copper Aging Tower was my own design. I used to have Pixel Rift's copper aging machine somewhere over in that direction, but I don't use that anymore. And I believe I covered everything except for this pumpkin farm. But to be honest, I can't even remember where I got the pumpkin farm from. So whoever was the designer of that pumpkin farm, credit to you, props to you, thank you. But yeah, over here we have my stone generator. I think this one was also Mysticat. I could be wrong. It generates stone, so that way I can use a Silk Touch pickaxe to break it into stone, or using my Fortune pickaxe, which doesn't have Silk Touch, to break it into normal cobblestone. Over here, we have a string farm. It's really just a string duplicator. And I don't really know how to describe how it works other than the game kind of bugs itself out because the water source, trapdoor, and the tripwire kind of all trigger each other out at the same time, which causes the string to be replaced and broken simultaneously all at the same time. So if we flick this lever, we can see that it's like everything just breaks and then the game hates itself, I guess. I don't know. It's really weird, but it works. It gets a lot of string for things like bamboo and if I need to, wool as well. Over here we have my lava farm, although it's not really used often and probably not really a good lava farm, but it's essentially my own design, I guess, where it has lava source above this cobblestone row right here, going into dripstone, dripping into the cauldron to get lava sources that way. And then last but not least, this isn't something that I built, but I did do the entire like interior decoration to a certain extent. There's only one part that I didn't really do the interior, or like a few little parts here and there that I didn't do the interior design of, but this is actually my shop right here. And that heart right there that we see is actually my storage room, but we'll check that out here in a moment. But yeah, this is my beautiful shop built by Anouk once again. She's an amazing builder and a wonderful girlfriend. I love her so much. But let's go ahead and check it out. I called it Unico Stop and Shop for now, but we're probably gonna change up the name in the future. I don't know. I like it and I don't like it at the same time. Here's my use of the mini blocks a little bit as well. We have the mini block crafting table, slime block, barrel, chest. It's adorable. I love it. And of course, we have my prices that I'm selling things for through the sunflower. So we are selling slime balls, we're selling rocks, which is gravel, tough, deep slate, and deep slate. But I think one is deep slate and cobbled deep slate. This one is my totems of undying. I try to make my best to make this look like a totem of undying. I made use of the invisible item frames with emeralds to make that. And of course, we can open it up to see my totems of Unico. I reskinned all of them, renamed them all to be totems of Unico. So that way everybody can have a little mini me. Or as what I like to call it for the funnies, I like to also call it a marketable Minecraft plushie. And over here we actually have the head of my girlfriend, and I made her my little cashier, which is adorable. This is actually an armor stand, and this is an armor stand. That's how I got the staircase to look like this. And I made use of scaffolding with the bamboo trapdoors on top. I think it just looks nice. And then we're also selling some arrows over here. I didn't have much space to work with, so I kind of had to go for like a very miniature target thing here. And of course, I always love my mini blocks, so I use fletching tables as my mini block design. Going upstairs, we'll be able to see that I'm selling a wide variety of different logs that you could possibly buy with, again, more mini block designs. I'm not even going to mention the mini blocks at this point. And I'm also selling rockets here. I know that the rockets don't look that interesting, but it's mainly because it's just like, I don't know, to me, it's just rockets. And we actually have a sale in here. I'm selling the Flight Duration 3 rockets for a diamond a stack. That's probably being too cheap, but I don't know. I think it's fine. We're selling every log type, I believe, at this point now. So I'm very happy. The hardest one for me to get is mangrove because mangrove is an absolute pain. But yeah, and then of course over here I'm selling scaffolding, and I don't know why, but this looks so good. But yeah, I'm selling a ton of scaffolding. Very good, very good. And on every floor I have a crafting table and an ender chest because I am all about that customer experience, and I want people to have access to their wallets and access to crafting. I even went as far as to add anvils where my enchanting part of my store is, because I do sell the enchanted books as well. In particular, I'm selling Mending, Power 5, Unbreaking 3, Fortune 3, Efficiency 5, and Silk Touch. And if anyone wants to buy these books, it's 1 diamond per book inside of this shulker box here. Up here, we have an area that I actually did not do the interior design of. All the other floors that we've seen up to this point, I've done the interior design for. Although I will have to tell you guys now that I actually didn't really do the full interior design of this enchant book area. It was mostly a nuke here as well. But I added the mini blocks, the anvils, and the shulker box. And that was about it. Of course, in here we have an extra bed area for myself, some extra storage if I need to use it. I actually haven't needed to use it yet, which I'm very happy about. And then let's head back down here to see the rest of the build. Let's go ahead and go back in through the main entrance here. I forgot to even show this part off, but this part doesn't have scaffolding under it, so that way people can walk in and out if they want to go in and out of the work employee only area here. Over here, we kind of have like a little workstation area for myself. It could also be doubled down as a storage area, but I don't really use this area yet either. I'm going to do it at some point. And right here, we have a little hangout area. I think this is super cute. This is made by a nuke as well. Super cute. I love this. Of course, this room as well is a nuke's job as well, and this is also a nuke's right here. This is definitely the storage room and the back room area of the shop where I can store extra items, like such as my sunflowers, where I get to change around the prices as need be. And then right out here, we can see, stop trying to enter through my back door, angry face. That is from a nuke as well. But yeah, that is about it for this entire shop build area. And she told me soon she wants to connect my shop to the heart storage over there, which would be very cool. I would like that quite a bit, to be honest. You know, I don't want to deal with a ton of mobs, so we're going to go ahead and quickly take a nice old nap real quick because, yeah, don't want to deal with the mobs. We are playing on hard mode, if anyone was wondering, by the way. And yeah, I'm not trying to deal with that. Over here, down here, we have the trapdoors leading to my storage room, which is a hallway that is really cute using the 1.20 update in terms of the cherry blocks and the cherry trees and whatnot. We have lanterns in the wall here. We even have this potted design for a cherry sapling. It's so cute. It's adorable over here. I love this. This was back when we did the end fight. I set up an armor stand for everybody in specific poses that allowed for my friends to get their fully enchanted diamond armor, and all they had to do was just take it off the armor stand and take it and wear it. But it looks like some of my friends left me some rewards to take back because they, I mean, these two didn't, but these two left some extra stuff for me to have, I guess. But yeah, I use this area quite a bit for storage currently. I don't think I have many things in here other than things like all this deep slate and all this stone in there. But yeah, it's just an overall really cute build. I love it a lot, and I think that Anouk, again, did an excellent job on it. But that is kind of it for the main town, which I didn't even tell you guys the name of, but this entire town's name is called Scooterville. And Scooterville is called that because of one thing in particular. We're going to have to fly around and go over here to show off why it's called that. It is this cute turtle right here being our mascot for the entire town. It's a wonderful turtle. I love it. I didn't make it, though. That was built by someone called Abissu on the server. Now, we can finally go over... By the way, I commissioned this bridge to go over to my trading hall area. This was also built by Abissu. Oh, and this is my creeper farm. I can't remember where I got this design from, and it's been reiterated and redesigned multiple times, so it's really hard for me to remember who this was designed by. But it's a nice creeper farm. I think it's stackable, but I'm not sure. I haven't tried stacking it yet, but I probably will at some point. And over here, oh, this is my prized possession. This is... Well, one of them, at least. This is my villager trading hall, which we will be working on in today's video. We will be rebuilding it from the ground up. This is going to be a long video. Well, I have all my shulker boxes full of all my materials here, ready to revamp this entire area. And, oh man, it took a while to remove, I think it is 30 villagers from this old eyesore of a trading hall into this other eyesore of another trading hall. But yeah, I'm going to be reworking this. It's going to be so much better looking. It's going to be beautiful. Now, here we have a villager breeder design. I don't remember where I got this design from. There's thousands of villagers in here at this point. There's just so many. I don't even know. And then over here, we have my iron farm, which is also made by ENX04. It does a great job of producing a ton of iron. I won't go too much into the iron farm. It is just an iron farm after all. If you want to know more about it, I recommend looking into ENX04's video on that. And then over here, we have the villager curing station. I don't think I actually went off of any design. I just figured out how this redstone powered rail works and then figured out how to get the zombie trapped and will deal damage to the villagers the hard way. And then after that, I just figured out how to do it all in that regard. I can't remember where I got this potion design from either, but this is how you can automatically brew potions, and right now it looks like I am brewing up a instant health 2 potion that is also splash, and we have some of those in here, and we also were making some splash potion of weaknesses so that way I could cure some villagers on top of that. And right here we have all my ingredients for doing all the stuff I like to do in terms of making this all work here. Speaking of which, we could actually probably throw in these glass bottles and the sugar in here just to have some extra ingredients and other tools to use for the trading hall here. Now, this is all just random storage from dealing with trading with the villagers and all that, so all this isn't really necessary, and a lot of it's probably going to just get removed when I start to build this entire villager trading hall anyways. But we're not here to necessarily do the trading hall just yet. There's actually another thing that we want to take a look at before we decide on doing that. First things first, this is the community nether portal, and we're going to have to go through there for the next part. Now, I've just realized I can't really show you guys what exactly I did with those pumpkins, so instead I'll tell you before we go to this community portal. So, essentially, one of my friends, it's ZD the Great One, he lives all the way over there, and he's working on his own project over there. And what happened is, my girlfriend and I, we went over to that base that he's set up over there, and we kind of just used a bunch of, pumpkins and made him a whole pumpkin village, basically. Like, all the houses, all the walls, all the buildings, everything was pumpkin. It was it was fantastic. And then we did the same to one of our other close friends as well, which is Wolfie, who lives in this villager's house right here. And then this is actually where Azazel lives, and over there, at that gigantic mansion over there, that is where two people live, which is Wonder Berserker and Abyssu. So yeah, we have we're all living close by, at least with our starter bases and whatnot. My industrial district is kind of right here and right over there a little bit, as we can see. Oh, there is actually one last thing I can show before we go to the community portal, and that is the quarry, I'm going to call this. This is an area where I was planning on making a mini game. I'm probably still going to make a mini game here, but this project has kind of been put on hold because originally this was supposed to be kind of like a really weird sort of slime farm that wasn't going to work out efficiently. But yeah, that was kind of the idea behind this even beginning, and then it turned into one of those things where I just wanted to turn it into a mini game, I guess. So, passing the quarry right there, going in this direction, we're able to pass the pillager outpost, which we use to get Bad Omen, to be able to use my raid farm. I'll show off the raid farm as well, but first thing I want to show is over in this swamp area, which is somewhere over here. There it is, and it is right there. This is Ilmango's slime farm design. It's super efficient, super good. I don't know, I really like it, and of course, this is kind of a tileable design. I don't know if I'm using that correctly here, but it's a tileable design, meaning that even though I have one square of this, I could technically make more squares of this. In fact, one of the examples Ilmango showed in the video where he was showcasing this entire thing was a 3x3 version of this slime farm. This already took a bit of time and effort to create, but I definitely would not be against making this bigger. This is a very good slime farm. I'm very happy with it, and it's been doing all the things I could want it to do, and that is to just produce a good amount of slime balls. Now, the only thing left to really show is my raid farm, because that's the only other thing that I can remember that I've done, at least in the overworld. I haven't done anything interesting in the end, but I have done a little bit in the Nether. And by all means, I definitely want to go into the Nether because my entire aesthetic when it comes to Minecraft, at least for the time being, I like having a horror aesthetic. I want things to kind of just be spooky or scary. And that is why I have to kind of rework this trading hall, especially because it's an eyesore. And I'm interested in seeing how a nuke decides to turn this factory into that horror theme and horror aesthetic. I'm hoping that she's going to continue with my aesthetic, though. It's funny, though, because I have this entire horror aesthetic, but then on top of that, I like to have a cute little mini-me, which is this totem, of course. And then on top of that, I have a whole bunch of axolotls, and I care for them like they're my own children. It's beautiful. I am the axolotl father. I can't help myself. They're just too cute. And I kept stumbling upon so many of them, I just couldn't help it but to take them in, give them a home. Over here, this design was by ENX04. This is my raid farm design. It's a little bit weird and a little bit different than the entire ENX04 video tutorial thing, but it's essentially exactly like how the video went. Right here, we have a little bit of a trash system. This wasn't actually included in ENX04's design, but it was added. And we also have additional storage, which was increased and involved by the good old, wait, what does this do here? What is this? Is this another trash dispenser? What am I looking at here? What is this? I've never seen this before. Oh, that's to turn on the trash dispenser. I see. It's an observer clock. Okay. Yeah, so this trash dispenser thing was made by Azazel, and then increasing the storage, Azazel also did a bit of messing around with as well on top of that. Which, honestly, it seems like we did get some decent loot here. Because it looks like whenever we kill the pillagers, we can put things up into this chest here. It also goes down the hopper into this double chest into this. Okay, I haven't actually experienced this area in a little bit, so that's why I'm kind of, like, intrigued by it. But anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and head down. This is the only way to actually get down from the raid farm, but we're, of course, going to fly a bit as well. Now we fly back home to the community nether portal, where we'll see each other once again when I am in the Nether. To the Nether we go! Of course, as every Minecraft YouTuber does, we spawn in the basalt deltas. And we did a little bit of exploring. That goes to ZD's house. Azazel was doing some exploring and created that portal. We have a chunk loader somewhere down here. I don't know if I can actually see it. That is one of the chunk loaders I have. And then the other chunk loader, I believe... I can't even remember where the other one is, actually. Maybe it's up? Oh, yeah, it's right there. That's the other chunk loader. Okay, I remember now. So yeah, those are the two chunk loaders that you guys saw in the overworld. They were a pain to link up because the community nether portal for some reason wasn't completely linked up. And then, so basically where we're going is through the nether roof, which we can go through after the nether portal. We go up here, up this little like basalt delta staircase here. And then we kind of just got to watch our step. We haven't actually done too much in the nether, except for looted a couple bastions, chopped down a couple of trees in the nether, you know, that stuff. Mined a little bit for some ancient debris and netherite. But the true stuff that we've actually done is those chunk loaders and whatever is on to the nether roof. I popped a hole in the nether roof, and it was just using the typical method where you use an explosion where it breaks the piston but doesn't break the piston and it glitches and breaks bedrock. That is the method that I use to break this hole in the ceiling here. And right over here we have another portal that's it doesn't take you directly to the community, but it takes you close enough where it's only like 2 rockets away, so it's not that bad. But right here we have Unico Hog Farm and Unico Mega Base. So now if we go over here following the torches and then we stop here, we can see again it says Hog Farm, or at least more in particular it's a Hoglin Farm. And essentially I took iCrafter MC's original design for this Hoglin Farm. And this produces roughly 3,000 something cooked pork chop per hour. And of course, it would produce raw if you decided to remove the lava. And then it also produces 350 leather per hour, I believe, something like that. And it utilizes the biome that we're in, the ability to scare the hoglins and the light level to manipulate. We essentially just manipulate the spawns and the interactions and behaviors of the hoglins to force them to want to walk over this lava pool where it kills them. And also gives us our cooked pork chop and our leather. If I ever need leather or cooked pork chop, I could come right here, AFK all the way up there, and I'm good. Now, the other torch path, which we saw over at the split area, which is right here. Yeah, I have no idea where this torch line goes anymore. I was looking for a specific biome. I was trying to make a gold farm, but I kind of just put that project on hold for now. I didn't need gold that bad, and it seemed more complicated than it was beneficial for me, so I kind of just gave up on that idea for now. But now if we go this way, which leads to my location where I'm going to be building my mega base, we'll see. My nether portal will come up very soon here. And there it is. Bam. We can see right here, Unico Mega Base. I love it. I also decorated this a tiny little bit. We have terracotta and some concrete. Very good. Now, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to picture a horror-themed build. A horror-themed mega base in particular. Picture what biome that might be in. What biome do you think it is? Because if you manage to guess wooded badlands, you would be correct. And oh dear, it is nighttime. I do not want to die or explode here in the badlands. Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and rest ASAP. I absolutely love this biome. Let me show you guys in particular where I'm going to be trying to build this entire thing. We have more shulker boxes here because I'm getting prepared to build another thing here, which I'll talk about here in a moment. But if we go all the way across from where that nether portal is, we'll see this area here, which is what I was looking for in a horror build. Because, I mean, look at it. It all kind of seems rough and dead and aged and dark, and I love the aesthetic that it has here. So, of course, I had to choose the wooded badlands. And on top of that, we have a lot of caves that we can choose to mess around with if we really, truly feel like it. And I'm thinking about it. I really am. That could be a pretty interesting part to all of this. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what my mega base build idea is just yet. I want that to be a little bit more of a surprise. But for now, we got to create a good, beautiful, old build right here. We got to have a way to get across this, don't we? I mean, we have the nether portal all the way over here, and then we have my base all the way over there. That's no good. Again, customer experience, right? So, we're going to go ahead and build an old rickety bridge that looks a little bit terrifying and is a little bit interesting to actually go across and also to look at, of course. So essentially how it's going to work is you go right out of the portal. The first thing that you see when you come out of the portal is this bridge going all the way to my mega base area, which is right here. So without further ado, I want to get into some building. I hope that you guys do too. Let's go ahead and build this bridge. By the way, if this time lapse is messed up, just know that it's my first time lapse on YouTube, so cut me a little bit of slack, okay? Yeah. Do you ever get overambitious because I think that's what I did for this episode. I was planning on doing the trading hall revamp, which was going to be like 3 times as long and difficult as this one build was in this video or this episode, wherever you want to call it. But it turns out I'm only able to get this beautiful bridge done in this episode. We will definitely be getting. Oh, you know what? I kind of forgot to stop the recording for the. I'm a noob. I know it's okay. But anyway, I kind of forgot that. You know what? This doesn't look good if I leave this here. We're gonna break that real quick. Hold on. There we go. Much better. Much better. But anyway, this is the bridge that will lead over to my mega base. So in a way, it's part of my mega base, but it's not like really the focal point or one of the focal points. It's just kind of like you arrive, you're here, and then you get to walk across this magnificent old rickety bridge that looks like it's barely being held together by its supports, which is that like this. I'm kind of using these skates as like a means of like a rope almost. But either way, I think that this looks absolutely fantastic. And on top of that, we have, like I said earlier, we have caves that we can go and explore. For example, like there's stuff down here that we could maybe do. And I'm actually planning on wrapping around this bridge. Like there's going to be like a little bit of like a cave system here that I'm going to be custom making. Maybe I'll make it come out of this, for example. I think that could be really neat. And then maybe like the entire mega base is going to be built across all this or something. I think that'd be so sick. That's the bridge done. Look at that. Oh, it's fantastic. I can't believe I was able to pull this off. Now, of course, I do wish that I was able to go and create more than just the bridge. I wanted to be able to also create the trading hall in this video, but this episode is already getting super lengthy as it is, and I'm running out of time anyway, so yeah. We're gonna leave it here on this note right here. I just love it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And also, if you guys want to help me name this bridge, feel free to leave a comment as well. Especially since you guys are watching this far into the video. Let me know what you would like to name this bridge. Because I don't actually have a name for it. And I realized that now. One last thing before I decide to officially end today's episode. And also, don't worry. You guys will definitely be seeing the trading hall in the next episode. Regardless if it's the entire episode. I just want to make sure I get that done. But one more thing I want to show you guys. I had these splash water bottles, right? And I was supposed to be using those for the campfires here that I'm using to put them out and make them unlit. But I'm kind of very smart, and I didn't realize that you could use a shovel and right-click the campfires with the shovel to put them out. Thankfully, my girlfriend told me about that. I had no idea. No idea at all. So yeah, I resorted to using my shovel after like doing the splash water balls like 4 times. I thought that I could pull it off. I thought that was going to be alright. It wasn't alright. It was pain. It was pain and suffering. Oh no. But yeah, the other option was a water source and using water buckets and whatnot. So I just resorted to the shovel. Much better, much faster. And I'm just going to use these water bottle splash potion things I have and turn them into some beautiful potions instead. Which is going to be awesome, I think. But yeah, this is the bridge. Mega base is coming up soon, probably. But for right now, I'm just focused on improving my trading hall, getting all the traders in, which is the villagers. And then after that, maybe I'll probably come back to the mega base. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I don't want to think that far ahead, but I know that I have a couple of plans. But man, this was exhausting as it was, gathering the materials for this project and also the upcoming trading hall. It was a task and a half. But now that we knocked one down, we have 2 left to go. Oh, one more thing as well. I kept messing up my placements of certain things, so I had to break a few things here and there. And it got so bad to the point where I had to recreate some campfires on the spot. You'll see this charcoal here. These are my mistakes that I accidentally made. I had to recreate some campfires, especially towards this side over here. And then that was rough. And then on top of that, I didn't have enough of these gates to finish at the very end there. So I had to fly all the way back to the overworld from the Nether, because I had to go through this, through the portals and whatnot, get some quick spruce planks to make the gates, and then finish off down there. What a mess, man. What a mess. But I loved every second of it, to be honest. I actually really enjoy building in this game. I wasn't sure going into it how it was all going to feel and how I was going to feel about it. But yeah, honestly, that was super satisfying. I'm very happy. I hope that you guys enjoy the build. I really look forward to seeing what you guys have to say about this build and looking forward to what you guys are going to be saying we should name it. That is super exciting to me. And also, I'm just going to try to clean that up a little bit. That used to be like a spike, and it didn't really look good under the bridge, so I had to just kind of like soften it out. That looks much, much better. But yeah, that's it. That's the old rickety bridge. I'm just happy that it's done, and I'm glad that I captured the aspect of it. And on top of that, it's creepy, and I like it. I like the creepy vibes of it. That is kind of the whole goal anyways of my entire aesthetic and theme. So it works. I'm very happy. And yeah, that's going to have to be it for this video or this episode. I'm not even sure if this is a series. Let me know if you guys want to see this as a series as well. I have no clue at all, but I'm having fun playing the game. I heard a zombie. I'm having fun playing the game regardless, though. And without further ado, I can't wait to see all of you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!